So I have to preface all of this by saying I have trans friends. That doesn't make me transphobic. Hello.
Yeah, they all say that.
You know, people say I'm not racist because I have black friends,
Yeah,
and then
exactly.
they say something racist.
Oh my god.
I have lots of Filipino friends, so I can make Asian jokes.
My ex was an American Marine,
Ah.
ex-American Marine, and he would say that all the time.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, my best friend is black.
Yeah.
Right before, he would say something racist. Or how that they shouldn't be asking for reparations because his own ancestors were like slaves and shit like that, you know?
Ooh.
Yeah.
That's a good one. Yeah. My ancestors in Armenia were victims of genocide, but that doesn't make it okay for my English ancestors to steal Australia. Right?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Hashtag I was a slave too, but then like way back the Egyptians were slave runners, so I'm on both sides of that fence, well and truly. But that's not the point of this rant. The point of this rant is Bud Light, and so they did what I believe is a sponsored post with a trans, I don't know if they're like a model or activist or person, Dylan Mulvaney, someone, I think. Can't remember their name. Obviously, all the beer drinking, Budweiser and Bud Light customers go fucking nuts. Protest, stop buying. Yeah, and fair enough. Like, felt like LGBT positivity was being shoved down their face. And we're like, fuck you, we're going to stop buying. Multi-billion-dollar company. I wonder how much they actually are in billions in revenue. Has nearly a 35% sales revenue cut, which disrupts the whole distribution chain.
That's huge.
The whole distribution chain is disrupted by this.
Yeah.
And that can bankrupt a company that size. I remember a friend of mine who's a insolvency lawyer once said to me, never let more than 30% of your revenue come from one product, one customer, or one like, I don't know, revenue line or something like that.
That
right?
fucks
And
you up.
Yeah, but it can fuck you up because you can have an event like this, and if you lose more than 30% of your revenue, because most people only run at net profit of 10 to 15%,
Yeah.
you're fucking toast. Like if you don't have 6 months or a year's worth of cash for your fixed expenses, you're toast. Yeah, anyway, but you made the apt comment that like the Venn diagram is really tiny of like Bud Light drinkers who are your blue collar workers.
Yeah, rednecks.
Redneck. Well, we've got to be careful saying that. But
Okay.
Anyway, you said it, not me. It's fine. And the other side of the Venn diagram is your LGBT. I think you're allowed to say it if you're a redneck. It's like I'm allowed to call myself a bogan because I'm a bogan.
Okay.
Like a black person can call themselves an N-word if they choose to. It's
Okay.
probably something that, okay, look, I don't think like people have been
It's
repressed
not
for
race,
being
though.
rednecks. Yeah, but it's kind of like, I don't think you can call someone a redneck. I wouldn't call someone a redneck. Like I'd call a friend a redneck as a joke, but I wouldn't like
okay.
say you're a redneck if someone was actually in. Anyway, let's dig up. Let's dig up. Okay, so bringing it back.
The Venn diagram.
The Venn diagram is very small of LGBT positivity and Bud Light drinkers, or let's say, you know, even a smaller Venn diagram of trans support and trans positivity. And you've got to remember that like the United States in particular is like a whole number of countries and regions strung together. It's not one country. It's like, you know, it's like the EU. Like countries in Europe hate each other. Like super racist.
Yeah,
Anyway.
I see your point. So you were saying how your insolvency friend told you that you should let one product, one customer comprise of 30%.
It was more about alienating customers. There was this Michael Moore movie. Have you seen any Michael Moore's films?
No.
Okay.
I don't think so.
So there was a Michael Moore film, and he was basically making political commentary when Barack Obama was in office and Hillary Clinton was running. And everyone was saying, against Trump, right? It was Clinton and Trump. And everyone was saying, oh, Clinton's gonna win it. You know, she's like got the poise, she's got the smarts, strong woman, blah, 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 blah. And she had a hell of a lot going for her. And it was a very, very close election. And Michael Moore called it. He was like, Trump's gonna win. And here's why. You've got all of middle America who are more conservative, or more likely to be conservative than the San Franciscos and New Yorks and Los Angeles, right? And they've just had 8 years, because I think Obama had 2 terms. They've just had 8 years of a black man,
Okay.
and they're like, and now a woman is running? That's too fucking much. And that was his point. His point was, okay, we've like given a little bit of tether in generosity. Let you have that.
But that's enough.
Or yay for progress. But now, woman, no. And so, yes, that was his point. And I think like what I'm thinking about is like during Pride Month, it's the same thing. It's like, okay, maybe a little rainbow on the Bud Light can or the packaging or something like that is passable.
Sure, like, okay, we'll let you have that,
but trans influencer repping Bud Light cans, too much.
Yeah, there's a fine line, but that makes a lot of sense.
But I don't even think it was that much of a big thing. My understanding is it wasn't actually a national campaign. It was just like an influencer type post. It was just an endorsed post. Maybe they'd paid for a post or something like that. But I think just the image of trans women holding Bud Light can was enough of a shock image.
Because trans people can't drink beer.
Oh, no, I don't think anything about that.
Oh, it's a joke.
Oh, right, okay. I think that was enough. Once the mob is outraged, like if a TikTok video can reach tens of millions of people because it like feels something or it's exciting, a TikTok reel can reach 10 million people when it like pulls at an emotional thread. And this is what I've learned from my videos that have gone viral. Well, it is those that tug at an emotional thread that boom, they pop off. Yeah. Doesn't matter if it's positive or negative, they tug at an emotional thread. And that dopamine hit that people get from outrage, which is a drug, and it's a full-time job to like be on Twitter and be outraged all the fucking time, or be on Reels and be outraged all the time. That's the hit that people are getting over and over and over again with something like this. And this just hit that for that many people. And I feel sorry for Budweiser, only because A, they were trying to do the right thing.
Yeah.
B, I think it's a good thing that they were doing. And I think they're just a victim of the mob getting outraged, and they happen to be the outrage of the fucking week. Elon Musk was the outrage of last week. The week before was Trump was the outrage of the week. And it's like, but if you're the outrage of the week, you get hammered, you get buried. And people say cancel culture is dead, but like that's people voting with their fucking wallets. Like that was getting hammered. That was hammered. Anyway, sucks for the person in the middle of it too. I'm sure she's getting a whole shitload all day. I don't know how they identify. Is getting a whole shitload of hate. And just even the attention of that, like, ugh. That level of public exposure. No, I'm not interested in mainstream exposure. I've thought a lot about this. I'm not interested in mainstream exposure. I'm very happy to be famous in my little circle of entrepreneurs.
In your tech world?
Middle Australia, Middle America, do not get me because I'm an outlier. I'm an outlier and not interested in appealing to the norm because I'm not the norm. And it's also impossible to keep the norm happy so we have this singer, Guy Sebastian. He's a winner of Australian Idol, which is like the Australian version of Pop Stars. All right, yeah, he was pretty famous. He may have got international, I'm sure he got some international acclaim. Anyway, COVID comes out and he jumps on the bandwagon of, hey, you should listen to the government, you should get jabbed because everyone's gonna be safer if everyone gets vaccinated.
Yeah, I think you've told me this story.
Yeah. And then all of his audience get pissed with him, or the half of his audience that were the body autonomy movement. And then he flipped and said, oh no, actually it's your body and you should do what you want with your body. And all he ended up with was 100% of people being unhappy with him. And even worse, because he'd changed his mind in the middle, everyone just thought he was incongruent. Nah, no one likes that. I don't know, that was a weird thing. I'm not gonna go down the vaccine. I'm not gonna go down that hole.
We're done with that.
We're done.
It's the memories that we regret.
Happy to tackle trans issues. Vaccines, no. Just staying the hell away from that one.